Put your hands in the air if you had Joseph Gordon-Levitt making somewhat of a comeback in 2024 on your bingo card. Because I'll tell you what, I didn't have it. And apparently that's what's happening here. He's making a couple of movies this year. I know Axel F was a bit, for lack of a better word, crap. Joseph Gordon-Levitt was probably the shining light of that movie, as he is with most movies that he's in. But here we have another movie, slightly lower budget, slightly lower scale. We have got Greedy People, probably my favourite performance of his to date. My name is Kevin Howell and this is Nerdly Out Loud, the official channel of nerdly.co.uk, your favourite rich home for all the news, reviews and exclusive interviews. I like to cover everything from the big budget to the low budget to the no budget, with a special keen interest on the lower end of the scale. Please head over to nerdly.co.uk, check out all the reviews we have over there. We have lots and lots and lots of good stuff over there, so please do go and check out that website. Somebody over there may have reviewed this movie as well. Check out their reviews, but most of all, watch the movie yourself, make your own opinions, come back, let me know if mine is right or wrong or indifferent to it. Just let me know what you thought of the movie, put it in the comments below. Like, subscribe, ding that notification bell, all that good stuff. We're just going to get into this now. It's a small town, Providence, kind of in the middle of nowhere, like not really much crime going on, really nice place to live. And Himesh Patel, who plays the character of Will, is a new cop within this town. Him and his wife have recently moved to the town. His wife is pregnant and he's just recently passed out of the force. So today we are going to meet him on essentially his training day. He goes into work and he teams up with Terry. Terry, played by Joseph Gordon-Levitt, who's a bit of a, he's been there and done it. He knows the Sleepy Town routine. He's got everything down pat. He knows where all the free coffees are. He knows that he can be a little bit of a cheeky chappy with everyone. He might be sleeping with somebody's wife on the side, and that might cause problems later, but we'll get there. So yeah, he takes him out and about on the beat, showing him what the crack is. But at the end of the day, it's a nice sleepy little town, so not much is going to happen. Terry, it turns out, is having somewhat of an affair with a local businessman's wife. So he kind of drops off into the car and he's like, if you just wait out here, and if you see anyone coming in, like a small Chinese man, can you please ring that bell? And then a burglary is called in over the radio, or at least Will thinks it's a burglary, but remember, he's new to the town. He ends up zooming off to the burglary, and of course he gets there, and there's a little bit of confusion as to what's going on. Long story short, the woman whose house it is that he goes to, he inadvertently, accidentally, through cockamamie shenanigans, kills her. So the first thing he does is he calls Terry and he gets Terry to come round, and Terry basically realizes that, oh shit, his job's on the line because he shouldn't really have been having hanky-panky when he's on the job so that his new guy could go out and kill someone, basically. It's not exactly black and white like that, but that's kind of what he thinks. So he comes up with the idea that we have to make this look like a burglary, homicide, everything gone wrong. And they realize that there's a ton of money as well. There's $1 million. So they are going to have to obviously take that money because they're good guys and hide it somewhere until the dust settles so that they can split it. We meet a host of madcap characters within this story. We've got the likes of Lily James, who plays Will's wife. She's absolutely brilliant in this. Aduba, who you might remember from Orange is the New Black. She played Crazy Eyes. She is absolutely brilliant in this. She's the local police chief, so she's top of the totem pole. Tim Blake Nelson plays the husband of the murdered wife. He's really cool in this. Tim Blake Nelson, you know what you're getting with Tim Blake Nelson. And one of my absolute personal... You know what? I'm just doing cast and crew right now, so let's just do that. But basically, that is the story. It's the story is, can they trust each other? And first off, Himesh Patel as Will. I think he's brilliant. He's really, really good in this. I can't honestly say that I know him from much else. I didn't really look it up either, but I did like him in this, and he does make me want to go and check out other things that he's done. He plays kind of that naive, sort of wet behind the ears rookie cop quite well, but you are fully aware that actually he may have a little bit of a streak inside him. And when you talk about the streak inside him, that moves us on to Lily James, who plays Paige, his wife. She is a bit nuts. And I don't know if they're playing on the fact that she's pregnant, so she's got that pregnancy brain, that mother's brain that makes people do just that little bit crazy stuff. But she turns pretty mad throughout this movie, and it's not for the wrong reason. She's not an evil person. She's not necessarily a greedy person. She just doesn't want her family, her new, forming family, to be torn down by this freak accident and this thing that's happened. Joseph Gordon-Levitt is completely in his bag in this movie. From the moment you see him, he tells a joke about a nun, about how you get a nun pregnant. I will let you watch the movie to see the punchline to that joke, but it's a pretty simple punchline. From the word go, you don't even see him in that moment. You just hear his voice. Camera pans round, there he is. And from word one, he's superb. He's completely in his bag in this movie. This is all the things that Joseph Gordon-Levitt does the best. He gets to play the confidence, he gets to play the suave, he gets to play the cheeky, the arrogant, and he just plays it so well. It's what he does best, in my opinion, and it's great to see him back. It truly is. I watched Axel F earlier in the year, and yes, he's a shining light in that movie, but that movie's still a pretty trash movie. I do think the ensemble does help a little bit because he's surrounded by fantastic actors who have nailed it over the years consistently. The likes of Tim Blake Nelson, who I honestly I love seeing him. Since Oh Brother Where Art Thou, movies like that where we know Tim Blake Nelson can play the serious. We also know he can play the madcap. We also know he can play the in-between. And he plays it so well. And I loved him in this movie. Probably my favourite Tim Blake Nelson since Holes, which I loved him in Holes, by the way. We call him Zero. And I really liked Uzo Aduba as Murphy, the police chief. And I think she got a bad rap because of Orange is the New Black, and people really did give her crap for that show. I don't fully get it because I think she is a good actress. I do really rate her role in this, and I think she's one of the few things that grounds the movie, really kind of brings it back down to earth when you're getting into the Hitman phase and the stuff like that, and it's going a little bit mental because the story does get very, very mental. Jim Gaffigan's in there. Again, he plays a hitman called the Irishman. He's absolutely brilliant. It's Jim Gaffigan. You know what you're getting with him. He only has a couple of scenes. Someone I have been missing on the screen for a long, long time. Joey Lauren Adams. I know she's been working and she's been doing things consistently throughout the years, but I'm a huge Chasing Amy fan. And yeah, it was just amazing to see Joey Lauren Adams on the screen again. I want to see more from her, but you know what? She does what she does and we love it. We may as well just deal with the last cast and crew while dealing with what I did and didn't like. And what I did like, director Potsy Ponciroli has done a fantastic job here. This was a movie that I didn't see coming. I didn't know was coming along, and I didn't really fully expect it to be as good as it was. I knew it was going to be a little bit low budget, but we had actors in there that I know and love. And that was the surprise for me. The movie is as good as they are. And the movie is a really nice pace. Doesn't ever feel like we're rushing anywhere, and even when the story gets a bit mad, it doesn't get too mad to the point where you're completely sucked out of it. It is one of those movies, like Me, Myself and Irene, but it also has the stylings of the sort of the Royal Tenenbaums type thing with your ensemble cast. So I don't really have a lot bad to say. I just kind of did enjoy it. The ending isn't necessarily what you might expect, but that's a good thing as well, because it doesn't go the Hollywood route. It doesn't go the safe route. The ending will actually tickle you. It'll surprise you. It'll definitely surprise you, but it will also tickle you. At the very end of the movie, you get a scene in a lift. I'm not going to say anything else about it, but it just had me howling because it just sums the movie up to an absolute T, and it says, right, this is what this movie is in a microcosm. So I'm just going to get into my rating. I am going to give it a 4.5 because there are places where some of the acting I felt could have been just that little bit better. And I'm more so talking from the likes of Gaffigan. I could have done with a little bit more of Gaffigan. He is excellent in his role. Tim Blake Nelson does have a couple of little scenes where I'm sort of you've gone a bit too far there. But nothing really that takes you out of the movie, nothing that takes away any of your enjoyment in the movie. But honestly, I think you could probably do something else with this movie. I don't know what, but you could maybe play in this sandpit again, the whole Providence vibe. You could maybe go there again, I don't know. But I'm 1,010% going to be checking out more from this director. It's so good to see Joseph Gordon-Levitt back on the screen doing what he does best. Himesh Patel is another actor that I'm 100% going to be checking out and making sure that anything he does going forward, I will see it. It was great to see Uzo Aduba get a nice little role that she can really fill and she can really play with. But for the most part, it's well written, it's well directed, it's well acted. Everything is really well done about this movie. I'm going to give it a 4.5 out of 5. Please do check it out, everybody. Make your own opinions of the movie. Come back and let me know what you thought of the movie. My name has been Kevin Halden. This is Nerdly Out Loud, the official channel of nerdly.co.uk, your favourite British home for all of your news, reviews, and exclusive interviews. I like to cover everything, big budget, low budget, no budget. And I think Greedy People, while being of a lower budget, definitely has a budget. And it's all on show because there are loads of little things that they do in this movie that you're just like, yeah, they're having fun here, and it looks slick, and everything feels good, everything feels nice. And this is the kind of movie that, like I say, harkens back to movies of the 90s while staying true to the modern day, but it does feel a little bit like those movies. 4 out of 5 for Greedy People. You're going to love this movie. Check it out, rate, review, all that good stuff. I am gone. See you next time.